Hello, everybody, and welcome to Got Next Gaming. Imp One Way here with you today with a new type of video. This may be several parts long, only because I turned on 7 Days to Die, and I started a whole new game, a whole new save one day because I was working on the survival series, and I said to myself, I need to learn the mechanics of this game, the basics of this game, and then even the advanced features of this game as well. And I just turned it on. I turned on my Elgato, turned on the software, and hit the record button, and it just started going. Realized later on that after all said and done, it was about 6 hours worth of footage. So I wanted to kind of do like a base tour thing where we kind of go through me building up a house that I took over from a new save, a new game, starting over, and then going through it. So we're going through here the house now as we're looking around at different things that I've done here in the first house that I found, and I kind of made a little base out of it, a home base, and I started working on it, and we go upstairs here to the balcony, and then we go upstairs. Again, I made a little bit of a doorway here for myself, and then I made a balcony that goes all the way around the house. So we're going to go take a little bit of a walk around here. We're going to take a look here and see. I did this because I wanted a high vantage point. I like the high ground when I'm shooting and taking out zombies, so this is what's kind of what I built here. Didn't finish off the railings in some spots. Got to kind of finish those off as well. And I even considered not finishing off the railings, to be honest with you, as a quick way to get out. I know I'll sprain my leg if I drop or fall, but sometimes you need to get away just in case the zombies did get in the house. This is where it kind of started. I built this hatch here, and then we built the back door to kind of make it easier to access this area for the balcony. Then coming back down into the house here, we're going to take a quick look around at things. Close that door. Always make sure the doors are closed because you never know. And we come around and we see that I kind of did some work here, upgraded a lot of the wood frame and things like that. I took out all of the cabinets and things that were kind of left over for the most part, and just building this house up. So now here we can see some stairway going down into the ground. I actually started digging a hole out here. Not exactly sure what I was going to do with it. Just started digging. I guess I was looking for resources at that point, kind of like clay and iron and rock and things like that. Built myself a little bit of a storage area, as you saw there, and then coming down here, continued to dig a little bit more and decided to start on a mine because, again, I needed resources. Coal, iron, clay, whatever I could find down here, plus the stones are coming handy later on down the road as well, and we'll see all of that going forward. So this, I just started digging, and I started digging straight through, not really kind of going any direction, just going straight ahead and seeing how far I could possibly get. To this point here, we're going to take a quick look at the map, and we're going to see that I got pretty far from the house at the top of the map there, all the way down to where the flashing arrow is. That's my guy right now. So we got pretty far here digging this map and digging this hole here to go through. Started thinking as I was digging this that maybe we'll just dig a underground kind of passageway to another house or maybe a village that I had found somewhere down the road a little bit. There's a little bit of a village out there, and wanted to see maybe I can do that as well, for just to make it easier to get to that other town or build another base and not have to worry about zombies kind of chasing me down or whatever else, especially as I'm trying to build up my resources and get weapons, because I was kind of low on the weapon side of it. I did have a pistol at this point. You can see that in my tool belt, but not much else with that. So as we transition, we can see the upstairs of the house with the forge and the cement mixer to make cement for the blocks that we're about to lay down outside of the house. We're going to step outside here, and we're going to take a look at the structure of the house first. It's pretty much intact from what it was when we first started with it, with a few of the upgrades to the wood. Like I was saying, I'd used wood spikes here outside for the 7 and 14-day Horde nights. This way I was kind of protected, and we could see some of the patchwork that I was doing here and there to kind of keep things up and going. But we're going to fix a lot of that patchwork as well as we go forward. And we have my little farming field here, my corn field, with some corn for food, because I had struggled with food in the beginning, and I got lucky, found some corn, and then just started growing some corn from the seeds that I was able to produce. And it's growing into a nice little farm now. But as we step back, we'll take a look at the house. And again, like I said, pretty much intact from what it was. Not very many changes, except for that balcony around the outside up above. This way I had a nice little vantage point to kind of take zombies out on the 7 and 14-day hordes. We're getting ready for our 21-day horde, and I want to try to get as much as I possibly can done. We made some rebar frames here in order to build a cement kind of wall around this house, kind of build a surrounding wall. This way it's protected, the house itself, and then we'll have to kind of find their way through the wall or the door that I put up there. We're going to do a little bit of a time lapse here as I go around and kind of upgrade some of the wood around the edges there to make it look a little more uniform. Kind of bugs me when it's all out of sync and everything, and I kind of need to fix it up. It's one of my OCD traits, is for sure, that I need to kind of have everything kind of look uniform, and it looks a lot better than what it did before. That was a little bit of a time lapse for you guys. I went super fast on that. There was like 20 minutes worth of doing that, to be honest with you. Actually, it was like 5 minutes, but still boring nonetheless. So now we're going to lay down these rebar frames, and we're going to see how we can line them up to get a good idea of what I want to do and what we need to do to build a nice surrounding wall around this structure or this house that we have here. Kind of our home base at this point, to survive that. You know, we're looking to survive. So this is what we're going to be doing. So laying down the rebar here, trying to figure out exactly where I wanted to put the entranceway for the house. Trying to get it like smack dab in the middle if I could. So leaving a gap right there just to see how it's going to line up. And again, making sure that I can get to the edges of the house so that I can go around the house as well. Didn't want to leave much of a gap between the house and the wall on the sides, but enough in the back and the front to continue my farming, and then obviously leave me a little room in the front to regroup when I needed to, or build up whatever the other defenses I decide on later on down the road. So getting to fit these in here. I only made 20 of these again, just to kind of get an idea of the framing of it, of where we wanted things to kind of sit for the outside retaining wall, I guess is what we're going to call it. The structure, it's going to be a cement wall. Maybe I'll upgrade it to steel at some point when we have the resources for it. Not really the plans for it just yet, but we're seeing that this is coming together in a very nice way, and it looks like it's going to line up the way I want it to as we take a vantage point of it to make sure that that's exactly where I want it to line up, and we'll see how that works out for us. Of course, we're going to need a whole bunch of wood in order to get this going, so we're going to have to get some wood to fill these in first to start with, and then we'll have to make cement in order to fill them as well. So after gathering some resources, I went out and found some crushed sand and some wood. Now we're building are in the forge now, and we're putting together some cement for us to make concrete out of, and also we're going to make another 100 rebar frames to continue the wall around the house. In the meantime, we're going to get some more cement going here in the mixer. I have about 58 so far, which is going to fill about 5 blocks because you need about 10 per block. But now I'm going to go outside and I'm going to do a little bit of a time lapse here so you can see me put together the blocks a little bit quicker. Again, I'm not watching too much tedious stuff here of the actual framing of the rocks. I didn't have the wrench or a claw hammer at this point in order for me to do this quickly, so I had to use the stone axe in order to get going. Again, still early in the game for me, and I hadn't really ventured far from here. And it's my first time doing it too, so I'm sure a lot of you out there are looking at this going, what are you doing? Because it's new to me. The first time I'm doing it, so I'm trying to get an idea of how it's all going to lay out and plan out for it as well. So now we finished off that part of it, and we're going to go back in and we're going to pick up the rest of our cement to fill out the rest of what we have there, as well as it is now mixing up. And we do have 80 more to mix up, but we do have about 50 ready, so we can get at least 5 more blocks going. So now we're just going to kind of take a look here, and I'm going to do a little bit of a time lapse here with no commentary as we kind of build around the walls out of the base. Check it out. I hope you enjoyed that time lapse of me building the walls around the house here, putting up the concrete and everything else. We put 3 levels of those walls, those blocks, all the way around. Didn't quite finish it, but we're getting very close here as we have 15 minutes of game time left before the 21-day Horde hits. And we're just going to finish up a few more of these before we get going. But this should be enough to keep us safe for the time being. And yeah, so got a lot done there. And we were able to kind of get that done. And I mean, it took me about an hour total of real time for me to do that. Go all the way around and line everything up and hit all the blocks and make the cement and everything else, you know, and chop more wood. And then I cut out a whole bunch of stuff you didn't see. And I time-lapsed pretty much just the building portion of it. And that was really it. So we're getting ready now. We're going to get all our tools out and our weapons in. We're going to get ready for the 21-day Horde about to happen, Horde night, as we hit over to the 22 o'clock hour. And it should be coming up any second. And we're going to put an end to the video here. And we're going to pick it up the next time with this 21-day Horde kind of going. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave your comments below. Leave a like for the video. I'll see you on the channel. Bye-bye now.